Well, hello there. Welcome to CAPECAST. How's it going, Mr. Allen?
Good, dude. How you doing, Mr. Brandon?
I am great. Doing great. I had a little bit of an extended weekend. Um, I don't know if am I coming through okay right now because I'm getting the
Little
signal
little grainy looking, but
a
I
little
can hear
grainy.
you just fine. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, depending on how this goes, I may turn off my video. But anyway, but yeah, had a little bit of an extended weekend, so got a little
Nice.
refresh. Went to the mountains. With Ryan, actually, who was not here. He said that tonight was a question mark on whether or not he was going to be able to make it. So if he shows up, we may have another mystery guest show up later. It just depends on how that goes, but we'll see. But regardless, you and I are here. Appreciate you as usual hopping on. Um, And yeah, so this is another. This is going to be another one of those episodes where I try to manage comments and show notes and all that stuff. So I apologize if I don't get anybody's comment. Basement Blues is in the house. What's up, Tony and Nani? Per usual.
The use.
Appreciate you guys. Um, but yeah, how was your weekend? You seemingly are doing a lot better
Oh yeah.
than you were during your COVID
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
You sent me a picture of you with a brand new bottle of Screwball, which I assume that's what you're drinking
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
Screwball and a little bit of water there.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good stuff. Oh yeah, I'm 1,000 times better. We did a little comic book shopping. Trey had a basketball tournament thing this weekend, so
yeah.
we got to go out and about. Nani said something about my hair. I had an interview today, so I had to look a little more dapper than usual. So yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
is.
it.
Your hair is looking good. I
Well,
typically
thank you.
don't comment on people's hair because it's not something I pay attention to normally for reasons. But yeah, your hair does look nice, Alan. So good
Well,
job,
thank you. Well,
whoever
thank
your
you. Thank you.
barber is.
She
Um,
she 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 does a good job. I go to I
nice.
go to a salon. I don't go to a barber shop.
Well, well, I used to do that as well when I had hair, but then she was like, "It's probably best if you just do this yourself."
This is a clean break. Let's just
So
do
yeah,
it.
so she let me down easy with that one, I guess. That was nice of her. Well, anyway, before we get started, let's do the usual rundown of social tags and such where you can find us.
All
But yeah, you can find CapeCasts specifically for the most part on Twitter. And then everything else, cinemachinepod.com. You'll find links to YouTube, Instagram, which we're more active on the CineMachine side, and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we are on Patreon as well. So if you feel so inclined to throw us a few bucks on the Patreon, we will gladly take it and appreciate it. All right. Well, um, per usual, we tend to start with DC, and that's going to be no different tonight. We apologize for being so down on DC. It's not really what we would like to do. So we'll go ahead and throw that out there. Pre getting into DC, it's just the nature of our fandom and our conflicts our inner struggles that we have with DC. So hopefully we don't come across too negative. It's not something that I want to really harp on, but if we're going to talk DC, we got to talk about the good and the bad and the ugly, and most of it's bad and ugly for me as of late, unfortunately. But regardless, we'll power through it. So first thing first, Matt Reeves was doing an interview. I can't remember which outlet he was speaking to, but he gave a little bit of a talk on the actual script that was, I guess, presented to him whenever he was approached to direct the Batman. And in a nutshell, I'll just read a little bit of the quote. He said it was very action driven. It was very deeply connected to the DCEU with other major characters from other movies and other comics popping up. I just knew that when I read it, this particular script was not the way I I'd want to do it. He said, I told them that there have been so many great Batman movies, but if I were to do this, I'd have to make it personal so that I understood what I was going to do with it, so that I know where to put the camera, so that I know what to tell the actors, so that I know what the story should be. This take, I told them, pointing at Affleck's script, is a totally valid and exciting take. It's almost James Bondian, but it wasn't something I quite related to. So... We've heard different stuff about Affleck's script, a lot from Joe Manganiello during, I think it was Justice Con, when he was on Film Junkies side of things during that, all those panels. Talked about a lot of it being Arkham inspired in terms of like Arkham Knight or Arkham Origins, I guess was the more Deathstroke heavy one, but and then other characters were going to pop in and out. I believe Barbara played a part in the script, Barbara Gordon. But yeah, if you ever saw that cinematic that they did for, I think it was Arkham Origins, the one that Blur Studios did, Tim Miller, who did Deadpool on Blur Studios, they did a little... I guess it was a trailer, a teaser that was Deathstroke heavy, but that was kind of the vibe that I got as far as like hand-to-hand combat driven. They talked about, I think Ben talked about it being the most Batman of Batman movies type. It was I think it was kind of Arkham centric. You'd see lots of villains pop up here and there, glanced, whether it's full on roles or cameos or whatever. It was going to be just like full-fledged Batman, which is why, they were kind of, calling it the Batman. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Hey.
Ryan.
You've got a bright yellow shirt.
I do.
Yeah, it's very bright. I got a bright green shirt.
Go Hawks, baby.
Yeah. I guess. We were just talking about Affleck's script. So you jumped in perfect time.
I need to stop doing this.
But yeah, so Ryan, I'm assuming that you saw what Reeves had to say.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah.
Just makes me sad. Makes me sad. But that shouldn't surprise anybody. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like it was probably more so the case that Ben was like, I'm done. Come in, do your thing, whatever. Like, he probably wasn't too keen on pushing him to direct that movie at that point. He was probably like, yeah. He was probably under contract to do it, but then they probably were just like, let's just do a clean slate. You do what you want to. They gave him like what, a year, 2 years to write the script.
Yeah, this is when the Batman was in production. I remember you specifically, Brandon, being like, when is this movie ever gonna happen?
Yeah. Well, they were kind of like, looking at it, I guess after the fact, it seemed like they were just kind of waiting. Gang's all here. That's right, Nani. They were kind of just waiting on Justice League to kind of wrap up so that they could actually be like, all right, Ben's out, Reeves is doing this solo thing, that kind of thing. But yeah, we don't have to rehash all that. But yeah, I mean, his comments about the scripts. I mean, I dig the comments.
Did it sound awesome?
It sounded awesome.
Yes,
I mean, everything that I've heard about this script has sounded awesome. But
what sucks is there's so much like crap that gets made these days. When you hear a story about a script just being trashed, that's good. It hurts extra bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Henry Boy's in the house. Hello, Henry Boy. 11.
Nice.
Not to be confused with any of the other Henry Boys.
Yeah.
Henry Boy 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, it's a bitter pill to swallow. Every time we hear something about this, we just, you know, it's like, man. And that's what I was saying whenever we were talking about our excitement for the Batman. We are, you know, I speak for all of us when I say we're all excited for it, but at the same time, it's like, you know, could be watching a Netflix movie right now, and that's unfortunate. That's always going to be like the double-edged sword, no matter how good this movie is.
To some extent, I'm always going to associate this movie with all this crap.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree.
I hope it's great. Like, you know, and it looks like it's going to be, but
yeah,
it's still, you know, it still hurts.
Still real to me, David. Yeah, I know.
I just want to take a minute to say thank
Alan,
you.
you have any comments on this in particular?
I agree with Nani. I just wish I didn't even know what the script was about. I mean, everything that I read, I was like, Matt, you seem like a really nice guy. You're gonna have to shut up. You know, I don't want to hear anything else about this movie. You know, like you didn't have to tell me that.
I hope your movie's great.
Shut your mouth.
She's coming out stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. Really, I just talk about your own movie, man. I don't have to hear about that one anymore.
Yeah.
You know, don't tell me something I'm not going to see.
Deathstroke.
Which I mean, that's also
Batgirl, and
I mean, that's the hot button. You know, anytime anybody's asking anything related to the DCEU, they're going to ask about the Snyder Cut. They're going to ask about Ben Affleck's Batman. That's what's trending. That's, you know, that's hashtags everywhere, you know, so I know they're not going to stop asking them about it, you know, so I don't know.
I will say
It's
I'm
true.
glad. I really hope this movie does really well because I just want them to forget about the DCEU. I don't want to see any more stuff with these characters that Zach kind of laid the blueprint for. It's just all it is opening old wounds every time a movie comes out.
Yeah, and they know that their bread and butter is going to be Jason and you know, with Aquaman and then Wonder Woman, and you know, now that they're not going to quit using them. That's what sucks. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it was perfect casting on Zach's part. So it's kind of like it's bittersweet, you know. I don't want these guys to stop being these characters, but I don't know. You know,
look,
what I
mean? I hate saying it, but I like like Aquaman, the second Aquaman movie, any other Wonder Woman movies, like I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'll see it. It's DC. Like, you know.
Yeah, same. We'll see it. But as far as like excitement level, it's waned for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We still want them to be good, but you know, like you were saying, it's a little bittersweet because it does.
And I wouldn't care if, like we said before, I wouldn't care if they were gonna just knock these two movies out that Zach was doing, and then continue making movies without his involvement, and all. It'd be awesome. But nothing.
No, can't do that. But yeah, I mean, to answer a question that you popped up earlier in terms of there you go, the numbers. It's seemingly kind of, you know, you can draw your own conclusions as to why it seems like they just want to bury all that. You know, whether the numbers are good or bad, but I feel like, you know, by judging by other metrics that we've seen, they seem to have been good. They just, they're not trying to put anything out there that would justify, you know,
when
campaign.
In retrospect, you know, we were all angry about that Anne interview, but it was very intentional. The timing of it was very intentional.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah. They don't want it. It's okay though. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want them.
We'll see how things go in the future. You know, as long as that's the thing. You know, as long as Zach himself still puts out any sort of like, you know, I guess any kind of push or not even a push, but just like him saying, yeah, no, don't lose hope. You know, still showing interest that he wants to do it. Then I'll still show interest that I'd like to see it. or campaign for it, so to speak. But
I really it sucks because what was so refreshing about these movies was kind of the scale of them, the like intergalactic size on the DC side, and now with this Batman movie, we are just right back in the grounded, like
Nolan stuff,
super grounded. Like
I saw somebody posted on Twitter a shot of like an action figure type toy model of the Batmobile, and I was just like, this thing looks like a turd. It just
looks like what it is. It's a
it doesn't even look like a cool car. Like it just looks like. I mean, I know that it's supposed to be like a handmade type forged.
It's an extension of the costume, man. Like there's. Yeah. I just don't understand really what the goal was appearance wise.
Well, it seems like they kind of, Darren Aronofsky was supposed to do a Batman movie years ago that was supposed to be like
a year one
more like this, but very, very noir grounded. He was going to drive like a black Cadillac. And so it seems like they took a little bit of inspiration from that take in terms of how grounded and like noirish they were going to make it.
It's grounded, but at this, I don't know, like there's elements of the car. I look at it and I'm like, okay, that's pretty techie looking. But then it's in this car, and it's the same thing with the suit. Like,
and then there's a whole lot of Vin Diesel in there too. Yeah. So it looks like he's gonna come pulling up next to you and just nod at you and take off, and that's it.
Quarter mile at a time.
That's right. I'm always stomping.
Because I'm always stomping.
Well, speaking of Batman, the Batman, we got a few character posters.
Did these posters remind you guys of any posters specifically? Maybe BBS? Just, just
I see some of that in there.
Yeah. A little bit of BBS, a little bit of Dark Knight Joker poster. Why So Serious poster. Yeah.
Like they pulled from their greatest hits, Yeah,
but we got like, well, the previous one, Riddler and Batman, Selena, and
so say we all, Henry. So say we all.
Cool posters.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, I'm excited to see.
I'm a little.
What this movie is.
They've put out some cool art for this movie, but for whatever reason, I'm a stickler for consistency, and some of the stuff they've put out, I just feel like it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit all over the place stylistically.
Well, the red's there. The red's seemingly the thorough line. The red, that's their motif.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. I mean, we're a month away, a little bit over a month from this movie.
Yeah, March 4th. Yeah.
So tickets go on sale February 10th, I believe. So still excited. I know that we probably don't sound like it, but we'll see.
Have either of you guys seen anything with this? Blue light. Apparently, the poster says something.
It'd have to be. Well, I don't know. Is it for the digigal versions, or is it printed?
I feel like it would have to be theater.
I know. Yeah. Well, I know that Little Caesars has been handing out posters.
I saw one of their pizzas that they're doing. They look awful. It's just looks like they try to like make a bat shape.
It looks like a pizza from Teen Titans Go. That's what I mean. It doesn't look like something for the Batman. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. But
it's one of those things
giving
where
out some pretty decent posters, to people when they buy their pizza or whatever. So I considered buying a pizza just so I can go get a poster. But that could be the ones that are putting that. You put the blue light to.
It's one of those things where, like,
everybody gets their posters, and they're just like greasy.
Yeah, they always have those, like, this is what the professional food photographer did of the promotional stuff, and this is what the 17-year-old did that works there.
that didn't go to origami school that works at Little Caesars and is high all the time. Yeah, they're not doing that.
Yeah. So that's kind of to be expected. But
Poster looks
okay,
normal.
got some different. I mean, it's cool marketing in terms of but feels very similar to the Dark Knight's marketing. If I'm being honest.
Well, I mean, at least Warner Brothers seems to be putting some marketing to this one. You know what I mean? Like they just seem like here recently.
To be honest with you,
falling short.
I feel like where they fall short in marketing is the reach and what like the mediums that they try to push things out on. Like I feel like it's there for a lot of the projects they have, but they just don't know how to like. You look at something like Spider-Man versus this movie, and it's just, I don't know. Like, it's almost like they're trying to use a modern campaign, but put all the ad dollars into like traditional mediums, like TV spots, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. I agree.
It's Warner Brothers. It's weird. That should be their new slogan. That's it right there.
It's
Warner
weird.
Brothers. It's weird.
More like Weird Brothers.
All right.
We can skip this next one.
Ryan's favorite subject. James Gunn could make a Suicide
Good for him.
spinoff.
Great, grand.
And Peacemaker season 2 likely.
Every time I see
he's hinted that he's got like
online, the Peacemaker online, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so glad I'm not watching this show.
Well, one of us is.
Sorry, Alan.
It's okay. I don't care.
No, you don't.
No, I've watched a whole lot worse, if I'm being honest. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, if that's the case. Yeah, I mean, he's hinted that he's got 2 DC projects in the pipeline. One, he did say that the one that's not Peacemaker related is leaning more towards a serious take than comedy, which
I'll believe it.
Hopefully that's the case, but who knows? Because James Gunn's brand of humor just isn't for me. So, even though I enjoyed the Suicide Squad, except for most of the humor, so we'll see. Seemingly, Peacemaker is doing well numbers wise. At least that's what they're portraying. So
they're actually putting out a whole new run, like a mini run for DC Comics.
They just make everything look like it's doing well for them. Well, if they want it to do well, if they don't want it to do well, they bury their own projects.
Yeah, that is true. So we'll see. I don't know.
Nani's done hopped on the train with me. So
good.
There's got to be somebody on that crazy train.
People love it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I love it. I mean, it's kind of like the Suicide Squad for me. It's not my favorite movie that DC's made, but it's definitely not Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of middle of the road. But that new DC Comics is actually putting out that new mini series for Peacemaker, the comic book, and it's more true to the comic. It's more Punisher, and not James Gunn's version. Like it's James Gunn's version is nothing at all like what what's been in the comics. But yeah. Well, yeah.
Glad people are enjoying it. Glad you're enjoying it, Nani.
I love the standard that we have for DC now. It's not great, but I'm watching it and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's like that, not just DC, but
a lot of the Marvel stuff here recently has been, not great, but watchable.
Up until this past Wednesday, I would say the same thing about Star Wars.
Yeah, I saw 6 and say Brandon was choking down the book of Boba Fett until Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you. I'm just kind of letting you do that, and you telling me when to jump in on episodes.
I know,
Kind of a
I
nice
know.
little model. I like it.
I enjoyed the
Well,
hell out of Wednesday, so that was awesome.
It seems like, and we'll get to it, but it seems like tomorrow's episode is going to be another Mando-centric episode, according to their Twitter. They're
That
teasing,
seems to be where they kind of left it off. So
teasing Grogu's return. He was only gone for one episode, but he's coming back tomorrow.
it's kind of lame. I don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, we will see. All right. Well, another little thing that was just cool.
That's such a Disney move, man. They just can't. They can't resist.
Oh no,
keeping him out of.
It's like they knew this show was going to be pretty boring. They're like, all right.
They probably like in the last 3 weeks, we're like, we got to reshoot the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Get Pedro on the phone.
We got to get him in the sound booth now.
Yeah. Well, seemingly this.
I was not able to get the Punisher Steelbook, but I saw that Tony from Basement Blues did, and it is pretty.
Oh, it's beautiful. I actually went the next day to look for it just because I saw where he had posted it and couldn't get my hands on it.
Alan spends a large amount of his time in Best Buy looking for Steelbooks.
I do. I was hoping to have a physical purchase today just to show Tony. That was the only reason I wanted it. And it'll be here tomorrow. I couldn't get it today, but it'll be here tomorrow.
Nice. Well, if you end up getting one, please bring it to show.
I will.
Show and tell.
I will show the class.
So this next one is actually something that is cool, but also twist that knife a little bit for us, I'm sure.
Yes, it does.
Clayano said updated some stuff in his portfolio.
Yeah, man. If you're in the market for some wallpapers, desktop or phone backgrounds, his website is the place to go. It's all full res. There's some awesome stuff.
Yeah. I love that Zod.
It is great.
Soup's kneeling photo.
It is great.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, some Suicide Squad stuff in there.
I'm surprised they didn't use that in any of the marketing.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Wonder Woman 84. Cool shot of her in the golden armor, golden eagle armor, but they just whiffed with a lot of things in that movie, but definitely that costume.
Yep.
So
wrapped in paper in the corner of the apartment.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that over there? Oh, it's just my ancestors' armor. Anyways, let's get back to whatever we're doing.
Oh man, but yeah, go check out Clayonus' stuff. There's a lot of his stuff in general is great, but a lot of this new stuff that we hadn't seen is really cool. So.
Yeah, there's a ton of photos in there, and like you're mentioning, a lot of stuff we haven't seen. So if you like the DCU stuff, there's also some really cool Watchmen stuff in there.
Yeah,
worth checking out.
I wonder, he's got to have a one of those portfolio books, photography books. I know that they have for certain movies they'll put out art of, which will have photography, secondhand photography like he would do, and then concept art and stuff like that. But I would love to just have him specifically, just his stuff, as a coffee table book.
He's got a shot of the BVS nightmare sequence. I've already got that as my desktop wallpaper.
Yeah, get your new computer.
I did. It's this thing purrs. It's great.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Well, I think that's all the DC stuff.
All right, on to the next.
Let's do some Marvel stuff, shall we? This is kind of a little quick thing, but there was some Moon Knight T-shirt merchandise, I believe, that was put out. Some cool little designs there. Oh yeah. Well, exclusive for you guys.
Look at you, Brandon.
Looks got some Three Wolf Moon looking stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Looks like to me.
I don't think I knew that his cape was supposed to be wing-like of sorts.
I don't think
it just?
I don't think it is. I think
that's just art.
flourish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it definitely, I didn't know if it like changed into wings at some point. I don't know anything about this character. Obviously, there's like Egyptian ties.
I think
Seems.
that one was just for the sake of the art.
Mhm.
Yeah, I dig the little scarab thing down there on the left.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that makes sense.
It looks like tattoo flash. It looks like something you'd see on a wall in a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
No, it really does. It's got that feel for me.
Yeah, cool looking though.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Dig it.
Yeah.
Again, I
I'm
think
excited
as
for
we
this show.
mentioned, yeah, as we mentioned last week, super stoked for this show.
Yes, for sure.
So very cool, very cool.
Love that Marvel.
Yeah. Did you guys catch the interview with all the Spider-Mens?
So I have yet to. I plan on sitting down and watching this whole thing. I've seen a bunch of clips, but I did not watch the entire interview.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it
there's
was.
some
I
interesting
didn't.
stuff.
I didn't listen to the whole thing. Caught, yeah, like you were saying, caught some clips of it, but they were just kind of talking about logistics and I guess kind of leading up to them actually signing on, figuring out what it was going to entail in terms of their involvement. They were, I guess part of the reason why they signed on was that it wasn't just a, hey, cameo and then they're gone type thing. They actually were involved heavily in the movie. And Garfield ended up, he said that he was kind of waiting to see if Toby was going to be involved. I don't know if that was a real thing or if he was just like jokingly saying that he kind of was following his lead on that. But yeah, just talking about a lot of the emotions coming back to the role and that kind of thing. So if you haven't checked it out, and then I think that's where that clip with Toby came from about him feeling like he has more to do with that character possibly in the future. So
yeah.
Him saying that and this next movie being Sam Raimi, it's kind of like maybe that could be something where he could pop his head into.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Which out of that movie, he's the last one that I would have expected to see more from. So it's interesting.
Yeah. That's great. They're doing the things that the fans want. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
But yeah, it was cool to see that. Weirdly enough, I mean, that picture that I threw up earlier, they finally released an official image from, the other Spider-Man in the movie. But they still are kind of like holding back on like, any kind of like poster art or seemingly like the actual like Blu-ray art isn't going to it's going to be more of the.
I read somewhere, and I can't even remember if it was legit or not, but it sounded like February was the month that they were going to kind of let things.
I'm really got my fingers crossed on that steelbook art because not a fan of what they put out already as the the promo stuff. So I'm really hoping that that's like a placeholder. Hey.
All right. Well, anyways, that's enough Marvel talk.
I'm here. I'm here.
On to the story.
It's Brent, bitch. He's here.
Here.
Welcome, Brett.
Hey guys. What's up, guys?
What up, dude?
How are you?
Doing good. It's been a while.
It has. I like your armored Batman cowl in the back glowing.
Oh yeah. We got it all set up.
Alan's
working on the background.
Most people would notice the Captain America shield, but Brandon goes straight to the
armored bat.
What can I say?
Oh yeah.
Well, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. So what all I miss?
A lot of DC complaining. Everything. I'll let you kind of chime in on these Moon Knight, the t-shirt stuff if you have anything to add. Just cool artwork, really, in our opinion. Lots of Egyptian stuff there on the left, and then I was asking about the wings, and they were in because I don't know much about this character, so they were saying that it was more of an artistic flourish for the t-shirt instead of him actually having wings.
I think it's just a play on the cape, just to make it have a little bit more to it. But I'm not as familiar with Moon Knight, which actually excites me a little bit of going into the series and kind of learning more about it compared to having a lot of preconceived notions like we've had with all the other series and stuff. So
Nice.
Looking forward to it. Though.
So you're useless to us. That's what you're saying?
I am. I have not picked up the Steelbook. I'm bad about Steelbooks because I know you have to be there like on most of these, like within the first 2 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So I know you guys pick them all up.
I don't.
I'm actually not a big Steelbook guy.
Okay.
Yeah, the only ones that I have been like Best Buy on sale type scenarios. Occasionally they'll have those like buy
which is
two,
weird
get one.
because we're both collectors. You would think we would be.
I have Man of Steel and Zack Snyder's Justice League, and
Nice.
then I'll have Spider-Man No Way Home whenever it comes in.
That's all them. Those two are the only ones.
Yeah,
that
I
matter.
know. I know. I want the Steelbook for the Justice League because it's Jim Lee art on the cover and it's really freaking cool looking, but the movie sucks. So I'm like, could I buy it and put Zack's in it? You know, like
suit is colored, Alan.
I know, but it looks so good, man. It looks so good. That cover looks so good, so good. So
buy it, get a Sharpie, make suit black.
I could do that.
Right, and then just write Zack Snyder's over the top.
And then throw away the discs and put the
and then the other thing, Britt, that we were just talking about was that the Toby and Tom and Andrew interview from last week, I believe. Did you catch any of that? Did you watch any of that interview? The three of them?
Yeah, watched a little bit of it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool just for them to be in there. I'm like I don't know, I'm torn. I don't know if I really want to see the old Spider-Mans get their own movies and all that kind of stuff, but I may be in the minority on that. Get out. I may be in the minority on that though.
Yeah, you're definitely in the minority.
Yeah, you in the minority, my friend.
Bye, Brett. Bye, Brett.
I don't know. No, I don't know. Like, it's kind of one of those, like, I feel like all their series.
Your MCU stand for life.
No.
You really are.
I really enjoyed them in the movie and all of that, but it's just like, I don't know if them traveling back to their stuff, like, what does that do in their, like,
you got the whole chat in a tizzy right now. All two of them.
I gotta make the comments going, guys. But I don't know.
It's so close to bedtime, and you're getting them all excited. What are you doing?
I don't know. It's just one of those, like, I liked what they did with the movie, and I don't mind them like having interactions with stuff. I just don't know what it would really feel like going back to their universes. But again, I'm sure we're going to see it with Morbius, and we'll see what that actually feels like and looks like.
It would kind of just feel like a continuation of their own movies, right? Because Sony would be doing it
potentially, and I guess that's maybe it's my fear of Sony movies are so terrible. Like, I mean, Venom, both the Venom movies weren't that great. They're watchable, whatever, but they're not that great. You look at, like, I really don't have great hopes for Morbius. I mean, it's been delayed 7 times now. Like, there's got to be a reason why they keep delaying it. Out? So, yeah, at this point, we don't know. So, like, that's my worry is
you're forgetting
if Marvel's not involved,
which is amazing.
It's animated, so
I agree. I agree with you, Britt. I agree with you on that. Animated is very different for me.
Sony, still Sony. No. And this last movie was Sony. So
with MCU
Feige
Marvel's
seems like
hands
he
all over
drew
it.
that bad boy.
But let's be honest, though, the Doctor Strange of it all wasn't the best part of that movie.
No, that's true. That's true. But the thing is, I've liked all the other Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Like, and you can tell, like, Kevin Feige has his hands all over that entire movie. They're just using Sony for the character. So, like, compared to the other Sony-based movies, if you put them head to head. So, like, I don't know. I hope it's done well, but that's my worry, is they go and do an Andrew Garfield continuation or a Toby continuation, and then all of a sudden it just isn't as good because, like, Kevin and Marvel's not as involved with it. And then it kind of tarnishes what they did in this movie and what they've done on their own rights for the original, series. So
I think at this point, this one's got a pretty concrete legacy.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
think that anything's going to impact the
No.
Holland stuff.
I do love the Tobey Maguire and Robert Downey Jr. memes. The look at me, look at me. I am the first this MCU movie now. You know,
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. Again, it's one of those things.
Winner, Tobey Maguire.
And it's hard because it's like those movies when they came out, they did what they needed to do at that time of comic book movies. So I mean, even like the Fantastic Fours, they're not the original ones. They're not that great, but at the time they were fine, right? Like the campiness and all of that is what they were doing with those movies compared to a new like style of movie.
Here's the thing.
That's
Britt.
my concern.
I would rather them make it and not be good than never know.
That's true.
Yep.
I could agree with that.
That's what the Zach fan base is all about. You got to let us at least see it to know whether it was any good or not. You know,
Exactly.
That's what we do, man.
Yes, exactly.
I love that the banner just stays on there. Gosh, so amateur. Well, all right. Well, anything else on the Marvel front? I mean, that's all I got news-wise, but we can get to other things. I know that, Britt, you probably want to talk about Eternals. You saw that, so we can talk about that when we get to Watch of the Week.
While we're watching you.
No worries.
Cool. Well, briefly,
You want to touch on any DC stuff, Britt, before we,
I mean, I know y'all been talking about the Batman all the time.
yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to like where they're going with everything and what they're doing. I mean, I'll probably go see the Batman. We'll see if it'll be night of March 4th or if it'll just kind of be when I make it to the theater. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, looking forward.
That right there, my friends, doesn't bode well for the Batman. If Britt,
For sure.
I'll probably go see it. Maybe.
I mean, I'll see
People
it.
are stoked.
I don't know what day.
I don't know if I have enough time.
So.
Maybe go to Home Depot. Yeah. Well. Cool.
Yeah.
Real briefly, just some cool Star Wars stuff. I won't have to touch on it too long, but Anthony Daniels is teasing some sort of Star Wars return, as if he's going to return to anything else. But
seriously,
he
this is his life.
When did he tease it?
It was
the question.
This past week, I believe.
Yeah, it was
okay. Because
there
was a quick cameo in some Boba, so I don't know if it was necessarily him, but it was a 3PO droid.
Yeah, I don't think it was him. It was a different droid.
Just
but
making
it was
sure
of the same make, I guess.
Yeah.
Seemingly this could be for they have a few different Star Wars things in the works. I think there's a droid story. I believe that's animated. I
think it
could be wrong, which is why we'll give credence to this mocap suit he's wearing. They did announce that they're doing 3 new Star Wars video games, so this could be something to do with those as well. So we'll see. But anyway, just kind of cool little thing. Nothing that needs too much divulging. Y'all got anything else you need to add to this? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of video games, there was also, did y'all see the leaked footage of that Boba Fett game, the Star Wars, was it 1313, I think? It's kind of some rough footage of some testing for that game. And I don't know if the whole game was going to be Boba centric, but the part that was shown was Boba, and they had like
they're going all in on bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Well, this game's canceled, so
Gotcha.
And it was a couple years ago. I believe it was Amy Hennig's game, if I'm mistaken. She was a Uncharted story writer that moved from Naughty Dog over to do a Star Wars thing. But that kind of fell to the wayside. And anyway, but one of the, I guess, concept artists or developers or something was commenting on this last episode of Mando specifically with the meat locker type, with the whatever the slabs of meat. In the game, Boba Fett runs through an area similar to that, but it's like tauntaun meat hanging. So he was just saying that he was glad to see his stuff carried on in something that, because that game got axed.
Yeah, in the end of the episode, I know we're going to talk about it later, but with the concept art, don't you see the heads hanging in the concept art at the end?
Possibly. I didn't really.
I believe so. If I'm not mistaken.
No.
By the end of all the Boba Fett episodes, I'm just like this and not paying attention.
Oh, thank God the credits are here.
No, this episode was different because I was on my phone saying, "You guys got to watch this one at least." Yeah, so I didn't watch the concept art either, but for better reasons. Anyway, just cool to see as far as that that game. But I am interested to see what these new Star Wars games are going to be. I'm excited that they're doing another Jedi Fallen Order. I really enjoyed the first one a lot, so it was one of the better Star Wars things that I'd seen/played in a while. So if you haven't checked that out, Ryan, check it out.
I know, Brandon.
Yeah. All right.
Now, what are y'all's thoughts on the Hunters game that they kind of started showing trailers for?
Is that the?
If you've seen it,
Hunters? I don't know. I know the Eclipse. I saw the Eclipse trailer.
So it's like it's Star Wars Hunters. Like essentially, I'm assuming like their MOBA type game, like your Pokemon Unite or whatever, but it's Star Wars Bounty Hunters.
Oh.
More bounty hunters, huh?
Yeah. More bounty hunters.
Going back to the well again. Let's see. There we go. All right.
Yep.
Is it a mobile game?
It's for the Switch. So yeah, App Store, Google Play, Nintendo Switch is free to download. So of course, many transactions everywhere, probably throughout.
I don't do those. I don't do any of those like free to play or top down like mobile. Like I saw an ad for a Lord of the Rings Rise of something, and I was like, oh man, some of the animation looked cool in this ad, but then I looked into it and it was like this top down strategy, like real time strategy game. I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. This is probably more of those like 3 versus 3 kind of third person games where you're like killing the team for King of the Hill or whatever. So
gotcha.
Kind of like the mobile.
I'm not aware, but that
of Injustice, I guess, the mobile version of that.
Yeah. The Star Wars Eclipse cinematic trailer looked cool. It was from a few weeks ago. Game Awards, I believe, is when it dropped. But anyway. All right. Well, speaking of things that WB does that's baffling in terms of greenlighting sequels, they are doing another Mortal Kombat for some reason. I guess it did well enough. I don't know.
We
reviewed it here on the
I'm telling you, they literally make things look good when they want them to look good. Otherwise,
they didn't make the movie look good.
I just mean like
maybe the results of the movie. It started out strong and then just got.
I watched it towards the end of my COVID bed rest, and boy, oh boy, woo!
Yeah, it's not great.
I was gonna say
that was something else. It made me well. It made me want to get out of the bed. I was like, yep, this is stupid.
I've seen enough.
Yeah. It's better made than the Anderson ones from the 90s, but it's just like well, there's no Mortal Kombat. Period. It shouldn't even be called Mortal Kombat.
They like cheat and don't even do it. Yeah.
It was cool to see characters that I grew up playing when I was a kid. But for me at this point, I was just like, the story wasn't there, and other than the cool factor, it was just kind of like a little empty in terms of a movie. But Whatever. They're doing a sequel, and the Moon Knight writer is writing the script. So, you guys got anything to add on that one?
Well,
they got another Disney writer. They're gonna let him make 5 movies.
Yeah.
Let's see Moon Knight before we get excited about the next Mortal Kombat.
No, let's see Moon Knight. Period. And I don't care about Mortal Kombat sequel.
I think it's one of those hard things where like we had it in the 90s, we played all the video games, so like you're gonna rehash the same story over and over and over unless you just like pick different characters, which then you're gonna be like, well, you're not using all the main characters everybody knows. So I don't know. I think they're just in a bad spot in general, just trying to make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It played to the nostalgia of the old games. You know, you had some of the callbacks to the music, and you know, some really nice fight scenes. But you know, the story itself was, it was awful. Yeah. It's like, you know, there's certain movies you just don't watch for the plot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that going into it, and like I said, it started off pretty strong. Like, you know, that opening sequence was cool. But it just kind of waned after that. Unfortunately. Something that
IG's invested in Mortal Kombat.
It's okay. The thing is about, you know, Louis Tan, a lot of people have said this, I'm not the first person to say it, but they should have just made him Johnny Cage instead of making him this new character, MMA fighter. Now they're gonna, you know, at the end they hint at Johnny Cage. So again, one of those things, it's like, okay, yeah, it'd be cool to see Johnny Cage, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay.
Like I said, the action sequences were really cool looking. They were well made. It wasn't cheap looking. It just, there was no meat, just potatoes. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a real Al movie.
Yep.
Big Al movie. Okay,
that's true. Yeah,
but I'll watch the sequel. I'm not gonna lie. I'll watch everything else they put out. So I'll watch that one too.
It's free on HBO Max. I'll watch it. But
there you go.
That's why the numbers went so well.
WB whore.
I am. Just keep giving it to me.
Feed that slop to Alan. One thing that I don't think we're gonna see, but a lot of fans want to see. Justice League 2. No.
Please.
Hellboy 3. Ron Perlman was interviewed recently, and he was just basically saying he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it physically because now he's so much older than he was when these movies were made. And I know that he was
like, do I want to do it? I'm 71 effing years old or something.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He's still taking a lot of random roles, but yeah, that I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about the fact of like bouncing back? Right, like we've recast. Now we would go back. Like, how would that even feel?
It's a great idea.
As long as Del Toro does it, I'm 100% on board.
Same.
Exactly.
I love the first two, so
I
agree.
They were fun. They were just fun movies. They were just really fun movies.
He also gotta love the practical stuff he does with this. It's kind of built. It's like the same. Justice League Dark would have been awesome. Like, it's the same reason.
Yeah. I mean, I know Del Toro, before they greenlit the reboot, Del Toro was campaigning, and he did a little bit of a Twitter push to try and, you know, gauge interest for it. And seemingly his budget was higher than what Universal wanted to put into it, because I don't think the second one made too much. So, you know, for whatever, you know, and instead of continuing the story, they rebooted it and then had less of, you know, that is one of those things where it's like, all right, we're going to reboot it, and then it's going to do even worse. Because, you know, and that one seemed promising on paper, but then Ryan, I know that you ended up buying it on thinking that you bought the original.
I still own it because I was too depressed to go back and return it within 30 days.
Yeah. So it's unopened.
Yeah, it's just on the
maybe we can give it away.
Sure, along with my Suicide Squad 4K.
4K. Yeah, I would love to see this. Don't have much hope it's going to happen, but would love to see it.
Such a
maybe a streaming service.
I was like, oh, $5 for this? I don't own it. I'm stoked. I got home and realized it's David Harbour one. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. But like I was about to say earlier, maybe in the world of streaming, somebody will see this as something viable they could do.
Yeah.
I could see
versus
Netflix. I
theatrical,
could see
so.
Netflix snatching that up.
Yeah. Was it a Dark Horse comic?
Mhm.
Is that what Hellboy is?
Does
But
seem kind
that's
of Netflixy.
the DC. No, DC bought Vertigo. Dark
Yeah,
Horse is still its
Vertigo.
own
Do we
thing.
know when Sandman's coming out? I feel like I've been waiting on that for a while now.
I don't know, but somebody can look it up. That's on
I'm
the
all
show.
over it.
Okay.
Hemp, 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 hemp.
While you're doing that, I'll just say, yeah. I mean, like I said, I love the first two of these, and like I
True
said
Netflix
earlier,
style. It just says in 2022.
yeah.
It's a lot
I
of
saw
stuff
it was
says
like
that this year.
on a lot of people's most anticipated when it came to like TV
Yeah.
shows, streaming, whatnot. But yeah, Amazon. It's a good point.
Yeah.
They seem to
Yeah.
at least put forth the money towards their shows. So
Yeah.
I'd be down. But yeah, we shall see. All right, that's all we got for the news front. The only trailer that I have on the dock, I guess I didn't make.
We'll just talk about it.
I didn't make.
Does
a
any?
graphic
I mean,
for it.
let's be honest. Does anybody even have the streaming service to watch this?
What is it?
The trailer
Paramount
that you're
Plus.
talking about, Paramount Plus.
Yeah. So Halo, they released a full trailer over the weekend,
Mhm.
and
Katie
Britt, I know that you are
watched a TV spot during the football game we were watching, and she was like, "What is Halo about?" I was like, "I'll be honest with you, I never played the story. I just played the multiplayer or whatever." So she Googles it,
Yeah.
and basically everywhere online is like, Halo is a super complicated story. So
yeah.
there were like no like
Yeah.
short descriptions of what the.
I've played most all the Halo campaigns and couldn't tell you what's going on story wise, but I do love the gameplay. I'm really fond of a lot of the characters, Chief, Cortana, the Covenant, Guilty Spark, all that stuff. Like it's something that's like a little bit of like a formidable thing with me, in terms of gaming. Britt, I assume it's probably the same for you. We kind of grew up in the Xbox days.
I remember you just grabbing a room, getting four Xboxes, hooking them all up together, playing some Halo 1. The fun days.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I was on board. We talked about it when the little teaser dropped a few weeks ago. And I was impressed with the scope. This trailer was great. And I thought that like, in terms of like a live action representation of what Halo looks and feels like, I thought that it looked awesome, especially when it came to like showing the Covenant and a lot of those elites with the swords, the energy swords, and all that, the Chief versus the elites, hand-to-hand combat. That stuff was great. But yeah, I mean, so far it looks good. I'm surprised. I'm intrigued. With it being on Paramount Plus, kind of like Alan was saying, it's a little bit of a peg down in terms of I don't have that. I will likely end up getting. I already used my free trial to watch Clifford the Big Red Dog, so I'll have
it's for the little one. It's for the little one. Yeah, no,
Sure.
It's one of those things where like it's a video game movie, right? So like all they have to do one is hit all the nostalgia stuff, make sure the characters look good and all of that, and you'll get a fan base. But my worry about this movie, right, is the story and what they're going to do with it, and like what are we really going to see with it? Because that's where a lot of these video game movies, just like the Mortal Kombat one we were just talking about, like as long as they get a good story, I think they'll have a great movie. But that's where it'll kind of come down to, do they push it towards the people who play Halo and know that whole backstory, or do they understand that like, hey, you can kind of reach the bigger crowd by just like touching on that, but giving kind of something a little new, to it. So we'll see where you go with it, Bo.
Yeah. Agreed. I assume you guys, do you have any, well, as far as Halo, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, but as far as the trailer is concerned, do you guys have any opinions one way or the other on the trailer?
It looked better than I thought it was going to look. I'll be honest, I'm not going to watch this show.
Yeah.
I just don't have Paramount Plus, so I'm not going to watch it.
Alan's muted.
Yeah.
Muted, Alan.
Can't hear Alan over there.
I did not use my 7-day trial on Clifford, so I may wait till that show's finished and watch it, because the trailer did look pretty decent. Like Ryan said, I also was expecting much less as far as quality, and it looked, you know, it looked pretty good production value wise. So I don't know. If I can snag it up for free, you know, for a week and binge it, I might do that.
It's one of those things where like there's just so much out there that's on the list that's higher for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I guess the one thing that was kind of the original voice actor for Chief in the series doesn't seem to be involved in this, and that voice is like ingrained for me. Cortana, I don't know if the original, she sounded similar to the voice actor for Cortana, but yeah, those two were like you know, very they go hand in hand with those games. So that was a little bit of a red flag, not having that voice talent, but we'll see. I won't hold it against him completely. All right. There's nothing left to say about that. We can get into some what we've been watching. Alan, anything in particular? We've all watched Boba Fett. We'll get to that towards the end. Alan, you now you are our sacrificed cow when it comes to Peacemaker. As we mentioned earlier.
And the bad thing is Cal's not even asking about the show, and I'm still watching it. You know, like it's and it's kind of like Nani said, it's really not that bad a show. It's definitely not, you know, it's, for me, it's a step below like Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is my favorite DC show out right now, so it's kind of a step below that, but it's definitely better than anything, and it's definitely better than anything the CW is putting out. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, it's just kind of middle of the road for DC TV stuff. I mean,
that's what hurts so much about this James Gunn stuff. It's like Suicide Squad and this for me, like it's just, and I know like reception wise, I guess they're critically they're both performing well, but like it's just so. Like, I
mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, there are, like we talked about last week, Gunn's girlfriend, her name escapes me, but she's actually kind of a bright spot in the show. She's a pretty good actor, surprisingly, and like I said, I know John Cena loves the role, and I know him and Gunn bonded over
That's obvious.
And so it's hard to.
He sleeps in that outfit.
He probably does. I mean, it's hard for me to pull against people that have that much, you know, love for the role that they're playing. But it's actually, like I said last week, and I'll keep on saying it until he proves me wrong. Vigilante is by far the best character on that show. He's hilarious. And I
hear a lot of people were upset at the portrayal in terms of like how different they made him in comparison.
Well, I mean, that's what Gunn does, but he is the lovable goofball. Not he's like the Peter Quill of that group. You know what I mean? Like he's not in, I don't know. He's just kind of a goob, you know, but he's got a good heart, and he's trying to do his best to help, you know, the team or whatever. So, I mean, I do like the guy. I can't think of his name either. The guy that plays him. He does a good job. He's had some really, if you look on YouTube, even if you don't watch the show, just look on YouTube and see his exchange with Peacemaker's dad in prison, and you'll laugh your ass off like for that. I mean, it's just funny stuff. I mean, it's
that, Alan.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me. You will. I think I know you guys well enough to know that you'll laugh at that.
All right, Brandon, pull it up.
I'll
Let's
do
play it.
A live reaction, and and I'll not laugh.
I would not do
if-
that.
If I
would
can
not do that.
keep myself from laughing, then I'll buy you something that you want. A comic. Okay, I don't even want to do that.
I don't know. I don't recognize him from Harry Potter.
Interesting trivia. Nani bringing the trivia.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But anyway, Peacemaker was another decent episode. It wasn't anything major. Apparently, there's going to be some pretty big twists and turns going into the last 3 episodes.
That's a twist. That's very twisty.
Yeah.
And then I watched Superman and Lois. Caught up on it. Man, they are really. It is a love letter to Zack Snyder. That whole show is. I swear to God, it is.
Have they do post-credit scenes for every episode, right?
Oh, but they're like James Gunn post-credit scenes. They make no sense and don't add anything to the story. Like it's an extended version of a scene. You know, like it's like the weasel getting up and walking away. You know what I mean? Like,
nice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Cormac
Interesting.
Flagon.
But
any relation to Cedric Didgeridoo?
Didgeridoo.
But the Superman and Lois, it honestly reminds me of a love letter to Zack Snyder. I mean, it really does. They're going with the
his suit looks like a knitted sweater.
Yes, it does.
They're going with the
new style.
They're going with his version of Krypton, where the children were genetically engineered. They weren't birthed, and Superman's the only one that was, just like Zach did. They're pulling the Doomsday card early. It seems like they just, I don't know. Seems like it's kind of like, okay, Brandon, you might not get this reference, but in basketball, when the referee makes a crap call and then he makes another crap call, but just to get you back, like, here, I'll give you this one. It's kind of like that. Yeah, it's a makeup call. It kind of seems like that's what they're trying to do.
Alan,
okay,
this
we're gonna
makeup
give you this.
call is extremely not strong enough. All right.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I do actually. I mean, I know some of the other guys, even in the Snyder community, don't mind this.
No,
show,
I know. Here's the thing. Like, I'm not
it's
going to
not
knock anybody for liking this show. I just, I don't know, the CW stuff for whatever reason just isn't my thing.
I do like that this isn't particularly connected. They weren't involved in the Armageddon crossover event. I think Diggle was in on one episode in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there's been really no reference to anything.
Yeah,
in the Arrowverse. So I do like that it's kind of disconnected.
It's also hard for me to get past the casting, which is just weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an odd one for me.
It's a weirdly casted show.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. And Mortal Kombat, I did watch that this week, like I said. So I don't want to talk about that anymore, though.
Oh, you just watched it. I thought you'd seen it.
No, I'd never seen it. I almost texted you and was like, well, I'm biting the bullet. And then I was like, I actually wish I would have just bit a bullet because this was a terrible movie.
Britt, what about you?
Nothing geek related really. We binge watched Ozark.
Nice.
So went and watched first half of that. We'll see. Like you mentioned earlier with Netflix, sometime 2022 we'll get the other half of it. But it was good. It was good. So just been watching a lot of random shows.
Catching up on Ozark from season 3. So
yeah,
I'm excited to get to season 4.
How'd you?
You did
without any
mention,
spoilers, Brett. How'd you like Ruth at the end of that season?
I liked it. I think they've built her character over all these seasons, and I like her kind of progression. So
she gets raw.
Yeah,
raw.
Great acting.
Raw.
Like
raw.
I feel like that's. I don't want to say that's like Netflix's best show, but like honestly, like every season's just been done so well. It's really good.
It's definitely the best show for me.
Yeah. Well, Britt, I guess real quick, you texted us a couple weeks ago that you saw Eternals. So do you have anything you want to
Eternals massive.
I mean, it was one of those where it was like, I don't think it was a terrible movie. I'm glad it didn't spend $40 to go to see it in the theater. I guess would be the one thing. But I like it. I mean, they try to set up some stuff for future. Again, they're always looking for phase 4, phase 5, and setting some stuff up. So I think there could be some cool stuff that comes out of it. But didn't feel like a Marvel movie. I know a lot of people say it DC movie or whatever. There's a lot of similarities, but
I would not go that far.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
not a Marvel, and it definitely is not a DC movie.
Yeah, so it felt kind of weird and awkward. It just but
I just don't
all
think
in all, it was a fine movie.
She's suited for that genre.
Yeah,
I don't know, just didn't translate well.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think like these are probably this and Shang-Chi are kind of like probably two of the weaker movies in the last 2 or 3 years. Well, I guess not 2 or 3 because we had all the COVID stuff. But like those two and then Black Widow, like we're kind of on not a downswing, but a little bit, weaker movies until we hit Spider-Man and hopefully some of the new ones coming up. So
I love that your review, like text review, was like all your other Marvel reviews. That end credit scene, though.
Yes. Especially
so
recently,
great.
Man. Like Venom and several others. It's all about that end credit.
How'd that Venom end credit scene pay off for you?
Not so good. And the new end credit Venom scene, same thing. But I mean, this one we got to hear Blade's voice, right? So we got to hear Blade's voice, and
that one was cool. When
Harrington's character.
When I saw it initially, I thought you were talking about the Harry Styles thing, which I was
the Harry Styles one. Well, here's the thing with that one, like, and I know Alan with comic book background, reading some of that, it may make sense, but like to the average person, it's not going to really make sense that Harry Styles is brothers with Thanos, yet they look way different and they're totally different. And
Harry Styles looks like Harry Styles.
Yeah.
And, not a blue nutsack, grimace looking thing. Yeah, I know.
So, and then that means Thanos is an Eternal, which again, comic lore, they finally had to pretty much spell it out that Thanos is an Eternal. So, yeah, I'm curious what we're going to see out of all of that. But yeah, no, I was more excited about the Blade reference and kind of starting down that path of what's coming with Moon Knight and a few of these other shows.
How long till they break everybody's heart and make Blade PG-13?
Not too long. It's gonna happen.
It's happening, sweetheart.
That's what Kevin Feige's gonna say, just like he did for was it Doctor Strange? It's gonna be PG-13, and you're gonna like it. Like when he told the crowd at Comic-Con.
I'm curious. Well, I'm curious what'll happen with if Deadpool will release before Blade, because right now, like, we have tentative dates for everything. So that's the only way Blade gets to be R is Deadpool comes out and it does well as an R movie.
It has,
and then maybe
twice.
they allow it. Well, under the Marvel brand.
Yeah.
So
Deadpool will be the only Marvel movie.
You know which one?
I'm not
convinced
that they're even going to do another Deadpool at this point. It's freaking ridiculous that they're not. That they haven't.
Yeah, I think they will, but I think his will come after they finalize Phase 4. Like I really think everything that Marvel picked up, they already had these plans for stuff, and they've kind of like.
It's just annoying when a character like that gets momentum, and then they just like sweep it under the rug until. Like when did Deadpool 2 come out? What year was that?
It's been a while.
2018.
So it's
best case scenario. You're looking at 5 years, 6 years,
and it really, honestly, Deadpool 2 disappointed me more than I love Deadpool.
First one was the best for sure. I
actually, Once Upon a Deadpool was better than Deadpool 2. It really was.
But
I didn't.
But the curiosity will be like, or I guess the part that makes it feel worse is the fact you've gotten 3 movies you didn't really ask for, and there's X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool that we want to see.
Yeah. Well, it's like that. It's like that lull, and in the first in phase 2 where you had Iron Man 2
Yeah.
and Thor Dark World, all these movies that were just
but people were still like stoked for like Iron Man 2. Everybody was stoked for that.
I know. And I mean, I think a lot of people were stoked for
I feel like that was
Shang-Chi,
just like
but
a
it was
quality wise thing. Like
No.
I don't like it. Those movies just weren't great in retrospect, but I feel like the hype was there for them.
Yeah.
No.
I just think that the past 2.5 years now have been a wash for just about anything that has came out, with the exception of Spider-Man. That's really it. Everything's you don't know what to make of it on if it was actually good.
There's a lot of there's every single thing they do, whether it's on Disney Plus or movie wise. I feel like they're setting up a different like huge arc.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid that they're gonna kind of go off the rails. Here.
Yeah, it's a lot of world building right now because we had the big culmination of Infinity War and all that. So like an Endgame. So like now it's like, how do we set this all back up without rehashing it? So it's it's interesting. It's interesting what they're doing with it. So
I think the bad thing is they're going a little bit more deep cut with the sword stuff, and they're getting into stories that are not the average movie goer, the average Marvel fan's probably not going to know anything about. So they're having to lay a little more groundwork than they're
doing so much. I just I fear they're going to get out of their skis a little bit. Like they got a little bit of hubris, it feels like right now after Endgame and whatnot.
Well, and I think it kind of goes back to
audiences.
Yeah. Well, and I think it kind of goes back to they were successful with James Gunn and Guardians. So again, going into Guardians, like nobody really knew who the Guardians were or any of the characters. And so it's one of those things where I feel like because that did so well, they feel like they can pick any character and do it. But if you really look back, I mean, outside of these brand new movies, like they've all used characters people at least know of. And now we're getting these characters that nobody knows of. I mean, like Eternals had 10 characters and not all of them really got a portion of the movie. So
also if you were to ask like anybody on the street to name an Eternal, they probably couldn't. After Guardians came out, they could say everyone would say I am Groot or I don't know, Star-Lord. But I don't know.
Weird.
What do you think, Brandon?
I don't know. I mean, I was excited for Eternals just based on the cinematography. But then just hearing a lot of you guys just being like, meh, this is okay. Or, it wasn't that good. I mean, it's not, whatever. Yeah.
It honestly, for me, I know Ryan wasn't huge on it, but I didn't like, again, I sound like a broken record. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I mean, it was just it was an okay movie. Aesthetic wise, it looked amazing. I mean, it really did. It was one of the most well shot Marvel movies.
I thought, the cinematography's there for sure, and that's kind of her strong suit. But like the costumes didn't look good. The costumes look like cosplay because of the fact that the movie was shot so well, and it's just weird. Like
there were characters that I liked. I liked Icarus. I liked him as a character, and I'm not sure what they're doing with that.
I thought that was
that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. Like I have no idea what's happening now because I feel like he was. If that is truly the end of that guy, then
he was the best. He was by far the most compelling character.
He was. His arc was nice. I liked his his turn.
Like
and all
he
that.
would have been primed for a great redemption.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had that turn, and then he flew too close to the sun.
No, and it comes down to if that really did do anything to them, because they're the way their powers are and stuff. But I don't know. There's a few characters that look pretty interesting. It was funny that Camille had his role, and they like hyped this whole role up before the movie ever came out, and he did all his workouts and everything, and like he didn't really do anything. So
he dipped out on the final battle. He's like, no, I'm not doing this.
Sorry, guys.
His role was so dorky. I did not enjoy him in that movie.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff.
I actually
that?
enjoyed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his personal assistant more than I did him in the movie.
Yeah.
Not hard. Yeah.
So, and supposedly they cut some stuff out. Like there was supposed to be a scene where they're trying to explain the deviants and the fact that like supposedly the scene is they're in a museum and they're looking at like a saber-tooth tiger or something like that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's a deviant." And Sprite kind of like adds skin to it with their little illusions to show like some of these fossils and stuff they found are the deviants that they've killed over time as they've evolved or whatever. And so like I thought it'd be cool if you gave a little bit more backstory, and I think that was what was lacking realistically, was the deviants really didn't make sense. The whole main bad villain just kind of was just
Yeah, they
there
whipped
and then
hardcore
wasn't.
on. That was like the only thing I was excited for as I started watching the movie, and then they just like
They just kind of
very similar to the Dark Elves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Dark Elves in Dark World.
Yeah,
they had some really cool elements to the deviants, though. I mean, like you said, once you figure out that they were kind of doing what they were doing, kind of the pseudo bad guy, but also
this is stuff that's that's worrisome about the MCU recently. Is like one thing that they've kind of generally been pretty strong with is story, and there's just been some kind of really like white bread stuff that's come out.
white bread.
Yeah.
Plain.
Interesting points. Very interesting points.
Now go watch it, Brandon.
Well,
You're gonna love it.
We hyped it up for you there, buddy.
Well, you're doing an MCU rewatch. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah, there you go.
Eventually. Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, I guess one thing to talk on that Ryan and I both watched this weekend, just briefly, is we watched Fellowship together in a hobbit hole in the mountains. It was glorious.
It was
nice.
Yeah, we stayed at a Airbnb that was themed like a hobbit hole, had a little round hobbit door, and we had the Shire music from Howard Shore playing.
Yeah, it's true.
We should have brought some pipes, smoked some old Toby. But next time. But yeah, we had this on because why not?
You kind of had to. Also,
what was funny is this
movie
place
just never disappoints. It's just great.
Oh yeah, so good. This place had like a bunch of like DVDs and stuff there.
No
Lord of the Rings. They had like
Somebody stole that.
Yeah, all these other movies that nobody wants to watch, but there's so much Lord of the Rings stuff everywhere in this They had
Airbnb, a thing in the kitchen above the table. It had all the Hobbit meals listed: 11 Z's, afternoon tea,
second breakfast.
Yeah.
But yeah, watch this. Luckily, it's on HBO Max, so we had easy access to it since we didn't bring our copies.
Yep.
Your 50 copies,
we don't
or they just kept releasing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bought another set in case you didn't tune in for that episode, Britt. But yeah, I agree, Nani.
That's what I'm saying. They keep like I remember I bought the first one and they just keep coming out.
It's definitely the best of the extended, in my opinion.
And it's the best of the three.
I also agree with that.
But yeah, so we watched that, and I think we still owe our viewers a Lord of the Rings episode. We did this poll.
We're gonna do a series. We're gonna review all three of them.
Yeah,
we gotta time it with the new series.
That's a good idea. You know what? That's like why we delayed it.
Yeah.
The cat's out of the bag now.
Get them the old run up into the new series. So you got it.
You man, Britt.
I knew we had you on for a reason.
All right, I'm out.
Like you. All right. Well, I guess the last thing that all of us I think have seen, the latest book of Boba Fett, aka Mandalorian 2.1.
I just want to see an animation of just like scribbling out Boba Fett with Sharpie and writing it.
Yeah,
Mandalorian.
Yeah. So
I don't even refer to it as the Book of Boba Fett. That episode, I don't even say the Book of. It's I mean, it's the Return of the
Safe to
Mandalorian.
say,
That's the name of the
Boba
episode.
Fett is the least well received Disney Plus like IP show.
Mhm.
it's probably
I
true.
like it.
Probably true.
I would say the Jeff Goldblum series is actually better than
Oh
this.
God, yeah,
So.
it's 1,000 times better than that
For sure.
I'm sorry. That's not even. Are we even going to debate this? I mean, really?
I haven't seen all that show, but the episodes that I did see, I enjoyed. So I can't say that for Book of Boba Fett. Besides this episode, but yeah,
Well,
man.
So I guess the week before. So I know Brandon or some of you guys. I don't know if you've been watching every episode, but the episode before this episode, they actually ended on the Mando's like song, tune, whatever kind of interwoven with Boba Fett's. Yeah. And just like I remember I was watching it with Kelly, was like, oh, next week's gonna be good. So like, finally. And then it was
finally that other Disney Plus show that they made about bounty hunters.
I didn't ever have that moment. I had a Brandon, hey man, you got to watch this episode. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was like, there's no need to watch anything else. I know that you guys have kind of checked out on it as far as, Alan and Ryan.
No.
And I mean, it's so standalone. There's no, I mean, besides the very end, I guess, but you can infer what it means because you've watched the other Mandalorian stuff and you know that Fennec exists. And so,
you could literally just watch the post-credits scene at the end of the last season of Mandalorian and watch this episode and be like, oh, okay. I see what's going on.
We're back.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I loved this episode. It was so I had a smile on my face most of this episode. Especially when it got to like him like rebuilding the ship,
it was cool.
The Naboo ship, and
I always loved those starfighters too. That was cool to see them come back.
Yeah, and just flying through Beggar's Canyon. Is that what
his little Grogu pod in the back there?
Yeah, somebody mentioned somewhere I saw like how he uses his ship to like carbonite freeze people, but where's he gonna put people? True. Is he just beheading people and there's no like taking people in?
That's how it is now.
Warm or cold anymore. It's just everybody's.
There's a.
I like this. We're about to see a DC Mandalorian, just dark. He cuts people's heads off and slams them on the table and demands his bounty.
There's a carbonite shortage, so he's got to figure out a different way to do it.
Right.
COVID shortages, supply chain. You know how it is.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. How they kind of come up, with how they're gonna handle that. But like I love the opening. There were a few different like they were. I don't know if they were intentional or not, but a lot of like little like callbacks or vibes that I got. Ryan, we talked about this a little bit this weekend, but I was like, I got major like Rocky vibes in the meat locker. the K2SO droids,
Terminator,
Terminator vibes. And then a little bit of homage to like the prequel stuff. And Tatooine with Speed Racer stuff, and this is when like callbacks and things kind of work for me. And then as I mentioned Jedi Fallen Order earlier, the little BD droid. I don't know if this is the same BD droid as BD1 from Jedi Fallen Order that the Cal character has. But that was cool to see. It could be the same one because the assumption, that is that the Jedi are gone after that kind of period that takes place in Jedi Fallen Order. So if there's no Jedi, then he's assumed dead, I guess. And so maybe, BD ends up here in Tatooine. But yeah, I mean, Oh, you think so? I hope so. It'd be cool if it was.
Mhm.
cute.
So cool.
Bye-bye.
But yeah, I mean, I was telling Ryan this also. Like I forgot. Like after they waste no time setting the stage with like this is a Mando episode. Like I figured they would bury the lead a little bit more than they did, but it was just like immediately right out the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Darksaber stuff was awesome. Him
yeah,
fighting
I
it
had
with the sword.
whenever he hit Night Set, I was like, oh yeah, he's got that now. Like I completely forgot.
For some reason, I thought he had given it to Bo-Katan. I was like,
He
I
tries
was like,
to.
Hey, okay,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
still got that thing.
But she
Yeah.
can't take it
Yeah,
because as we learned, she
had
took
already
the first
taken it one time before. yeah.
and it didn't work out too well.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool to have some sort of saber action in this, and kind of like him struggling to wield it, and that kind of thing. And then
I don't know if Britt or Alan, were you ever Dragon Ball Z fans growing up?
Yeah.
It
I've watched them all.
reminded me of the Z sword as he was like fighting,
Yeah.
or the weight of it. That's cool.
Yeah. And supposedly, I mean, I watched like a quick like YouTube clip or something that was kind of explaining some of that, and it's like it matches up with the lore about having to be able to wield it. They tweaked it a little bit, but the most part it's pretty cool. So
yeah.
The sorry, my computer was going dead. I didn't realize it wasn't plugged up, my laptop.
Cool.
But
it's okay. Alan.
Did anybody mention the Star Tours droid as well?
I didn't mention it, but I did see
that was pretty could I did like that. Mandy picked that one out before I even had a chance to say anything. She was like, "Oh my god, it's the little guy from Star Tours."
Yeah, that's funny.
So that was cool.
Yeah, Nanichi, you're better than I am. I watched the first episode of that, and I watched the first episode of Peacemaker in the same night, and I was like, "Screw TV, I'm done with both these shows."
But you came back for this.
Because I trust you, Brandon. I trust you.
Yeah. We've watched all the other episodes, and it's kind of one of those where they're not great, but they do have a lot of callbacks. They do have a lot of nods to different things in the world.
God, I was so bored watching that first episode.
But all of them up until this one are about the same. You don't really go anywhere. They're introducing people you don't really care about, like and hopefully we'll see some more as we go. But yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I mean, it's not that you needed Mando to carry the show, you just needed familiarity, and there wasn't. Besides Boba Fett, there was none. You know what I mean? That was
didn't really need for me. That just needed better story, something interesting.
Well, but familiarity kind of carries the weak spots in the story, and we just haven't had it with the show.
Yeah. Well, in terms of things being familiar, I mean, this Boba Fett show it's leaning on that alone. Like it's too familiar. Like it's doing nothing new.
Yeah.
It's a character that didn't need to be explored like this.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to fan cater in this whole like lore of Boba Fett survived, right? Like, and now they're trying to give you this whole backstory of like what all he did during the time and all of that. And I think a lot of us are kind of like, I don't really care. Like we got to the point he got his armor back. Let's just go from there. Like
it was better. It was better left unknown. They're really dragging you through this. I mean, it feels like that kid that didn't want to go to church on Sunday.
It's a show for the sake of making a show. It's not like a story.
Yeah.
I don't need to know how he learned how to fight with the stick and all that kind of stuff. Like he's got blasters now. Just go to that.
That's another thing is he hasn't really done anything this season. I mean, he has his helmet off most of the time. He talks too much. Like he's just like.
He says, "I'm so tired of seeing that damn back the tank."
I know, right? God, man.
He's got to be all wrinkly. Even all that time, he's got to be all wrinkly, all pruned up.
I saw a funny meme where it was the meme was Deadpool talking to him like, "Hey, where do I get one of those?" He's like, "Why do you want one of those?" Like, well, look how messed up your face is. It'll fix mine too. Because now he's like perfectly back to normal.
Yeah. You're healed. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's up until this episode, which has nothing to do with Boba, it hasn't been doing anything of interest. And the stuff that it has been trying to do that's different just doesn't feel like Star Wars.
His character is best left to the imagination.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, the whole the lore, the thousand tears, you know, all that whole the story of Mandalore, that was so cool, man. I was like, oh my god, we need a movie. It's cool to
see the armor and all that kind of like rigid Mandalorian stuff. Like, have you removed your helmet? Yep. All right, later. No longer.
Yeah. You can keep the sword though, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of helmets, man, if they keep whiffing with the Boba side of things, I'm going to be tempted to cancel my Boba Fett helmet pre-order because,
I'll take a Mando one.
I keep looking. They've got a Mando Black Series at GameStop down the street, and I look at it like every week.
What are they charging for it?
I think $199. I think so.
Yeah. So there's a cool video. If you haven't seen it, there's a cool video on Tested where Adam Savage like takes that helmet and then adds some stuff to it, and it looks like perfect from the movie. Yeah. So for like $10 or something like that.
Ryan's Sideshow Baby Yoda.
We have the Calorian Black Series when they first released it. And those things are selling for like $500 on eBay right now. Trey's like, "Can I sell it?" Because he bought it like at Toys R Us. You know, it's still in the box. Like he put it together and put it on one time, and then we took it apart and put it back up. So
nice.
So what do you guys think? Mando like melted down the staff.
I don't know. It was weird. It was like only thing I could think of would be like the little chainmail, like a little chainmail.
Yeah,
but it still looked like it was just like a little thing of like I don't know what you can get in there. That's
I mean, Grogu's little, but he ain't that little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
This is armor for ants.
I figured when she was doing it right before we saw it in the thing, that's kind of where I was leaning to, is the whole meme where it's like everybody has Baby Yoda like or Grogu dressed up as the Mando. Like I thought it would be like a full suit, but then after the little thing came out, it's like nothing's gonna fit in there.
Little thing that was like tied into Baby Yoda ears. Like
I was like, what is
like
this?
if it's
looks like a little
I don't really know.
Like a little hobo fixing to jump on a train. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what that was, you know.
So I mean, maybe it's just chainmail armor or something, but I feel like it has to be iconic looking to the Mandalorian armor.
I really think it's going to end up being kind of like a throwaway, just an excuse to get him there to train with the Jedi to learn how to wield the Darksaber. I really think that's really the whole reason.
If he's in this, he's in like so. Mando is in this last episode, right?
They were hinting
he should be in the next one.
Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett Twitter was
because doesn't he say like at the end of this episode that he's got to go somewhere first?
Right.
Yeah, he's got to go to see Grogu first. Pretty much.
He misses him. He's been away from him too long.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of bummed that like I mean I guess they could squeeze in or do flashbacks. I was kind of hoping they were gonna like let that Grogu thing breathe a little bit.
Yeah,
that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
Now they can put out the plush doll of Grogu with whatever this Mandalorian armor is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Disney.
It's gonna be a chainmail loincloth. That's what it's gonna be. A tiny little loincloth.
It's just gonna be a necklace with like a little Mandalorian emblem.
Yeah. It might be. Like it could very well be the case.
Yeah. Or Cal thought it was going to be the ball that he kept trying to steal. You know.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, the Twitter page was teasing tomorrow's episode, and they just had a picture of Mando holding that little bag. You know, the little baby Grogu eared looking bag.
You can put your weed in there. Brandon, so text me and let me know whether I need to watch it. I'm not even gonna click on it until you tell me what to do.
I'm in for this episode after the last one.
Well, somebody that's part of the production was before the show even aired. I think they were like, episodes 5, 6, and 7 are this show, so it's essentially, hopefully that.
Oh, that's so annoying. I feel like it's like this with all the Disney shows. It's like We watched like the first 3 episodes, and we're like, "Why are we doing that?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Lot of setup.
it's almost
lot
like
of
they should
setup in
just
these.
make short movies of these things.
Yeah, I mean, well, there is credence to that train of thought, but that's a lot of basically all of everything leading up to this has felt filler. It just they're just trying to put something out. But.
Yeah, I don't understand why they did that though either. Like if you think about it, instead of focusing on him in the time between the Sarlacc pit, like they could have even used the episode of showing like what did he do after he found his dad's head like severed in the helmet, right? Like you saw Boba pick up Jango's head in the Coliseum, so like you could have used the episode to explain like how he trained himself between that and being the bounty hunter for Jabba, rather than just focusing so much on this one little sand people thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Britt. In the same light.
Talk to your boy Feige or
Yeah.
is he involved at all with that stuff?
No,
Is it just Kathleen Kennedy?
It's all John Favreau.
that's what I was going to say. It's Favreau, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all him.
I thought that I read at one point that Feige was getting involved with Star Wars stuff too. Maybe it was just a rumor or something.
Yeah. Well, I think I remember seeing that after the Last Jedi didn't do so well,
Gotcha.
but I don't know how credible it was or not.
Sure.
Yeah, but we'll see how things play out next episode, and I'll let you guys know.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm good. I'm in.
Well, just let me know, Brandon. I don't care. Just let everybody. You ain't got to tell nobody else. Just tell me.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know, Alan.
Yeah.
Anything else that needs to be said about this episode in particular?
Don't think so.
I don't think so.
We got to see the pilot, the X-wing pilot from last season of Mando come back.
And then you got to see the cameo of Luke Skywalker. So wasn't really Luke Skywalker, but the guy who played the body of Luke Skywalker in Mando.
Was that
Was that the other pilot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Well,'ll be damned.
Yeah. So without the age, without the face swap. No, I mean, I guess the only other thing, and you mentioned it
better in this episode.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look how glassy.
The only other thing that I thought was kind of cool, and you mentioned a little bit ago, was just the Naboo fighter. Like when she walked in the room and it was covered, I was like, oh man, she's about to show some kind of like pod racer or whatever. Just by the way the engines were, and then when she pulled it off, I was like, oh no, that's a Naboo fighter. Like
That's that.
I remember when that movie came out.
Yeah.
I remember when episode 1 came out, I was like, man, those look so much cooler than X-Wings. Like, and they're supposed to be like
go that
old
far.
school, like before.
But
yeah, I do love it. They do look awesome.
Yeah, that was that deep cut Phantom Menace right there. I was like, oh.
Well, it's funny how like the chromed out nature of that actual aircraft versus the ridiculous looking chromed out speeder bikes from the other episode. Like for whatever reason, I buy the Naboo Starfighter. I don't buy that, those
the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. I know you were probably into that, Britt. You texted, you seemed pretty hyped about it.
Yeah. I love the
Power
whole,
Rangers fan.
bump somebody to the side and then hit a cart of vegetables.
Yeah. It's like on Wayne's World. We just got to keep carrying these crates back and forth. Make sure there's plenty of watermelon stacked at all times. I'm finally excited about where this goes, and unfortunately, it's not anything to do with this show specifically.
I'm finally excited to see that it went away from the whole purpose of the show.
We'll see.
Good.
We'll see. But I mean, obviously, the thing they've been teasing. I can't remember again. Somebody in the production has teased that there's going to be a big reveal at the end of this series. Probably to set up either the Obi-Wan show or, which I don't think the Obi-Wan show would be set up. He'll be dead, but
just shows his grave.
No,
Maybe an Ahsoka tie-in. I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
But you know,
it'll just be it'll be Mando without a helmet on.
Thrawn or something.
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm thinking it was funny when they did the whole like, have you taken your helmet off and now he's not a Mandalorian? Like it gives Pascal now the ability to not wear his helmet on the show all the time.
Well,
since
yeah,
he was
that
complaining about that.
That was definitely like him not taking his helmet off was Pascal was only available for VO in this episode. I know that's not what you're saying, but that's what came to mind.
Yeah. So
whenever-
I'm just saying season three, he can return, have his helmet off the whole time.
I mean,
because he's not a Mandalorian anymore.
Is he going to be?
But then he's not cool. That's the. Don't do that. Don't put that evil.
Is that so? I'm assuming something to do with season 3 is going to be that he's trying to find the rivers to bathe in or whatever it is to atone.
The fountains of whatever underneath. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's going to have something to do with.
Oh, we're going to Mandalore.
Oh,
yeah. Going. Got a one-way ticket.
And then that's where we'll get Bo-Katan back and all that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Yep.
Definitely got me excited for the next season of Mandalorian. Can't say much for Boba Fett, but it did quite the opposite. And
the next season of this one, let's be honest.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll wrap us up there. Anybody get any physical media stuff at all?
I got a few comic books and stuff, but I did get this guy. I don't know. Sorry.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh,
he's so much bigger than all the rest of them. That's
nice.
What she said.
Sorry.
That I set myself up. I didn't mean to. And and then I picked up some what ifs. I got some older issues of what if. I got what if Spider-Man had kept his 6 arms. I don't know if you can see that one or not. And then what if Punisher was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's pretty cool.
I did get my Dune bottleneck prints in today, but I haven't opened the tube yet. So
Prints, plural? You got both?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just got the Paul Atreides one.
No, I just did it. I was like, I'm just gonna get them. So I did.
Good.
Tomorrow when I get home, the Ghostbusters collector set with the trap with all the discs that lights up, that will be waiting on me. I was hoping to have it today to show it off. Like I said, I was hoping to show Tony, but I didn't get to.
He's gonna beat you to it.
He'll post it tomorrow and make me feel like shit.
I'm trying to impress Tony. Gosh.
He's so freaking cool. He's so cool, man. I don't know. He's just so cool.
Brett, any geek stuff?
I got some new hardware.
Oh,
so look, we got his camera. Switch over to the camera B.
Yeah. Camera B right there.
Camera 1, camera 2.
Camera B.
1, camera 2.
So we got some.
Britt.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. No. This is what I forgot I should have done when we were talking about Spider-Man. So just.
My spider sense.
Oh yeah.
God, Britt.
Oh yeah. Old school 90s.
Listen,
there we go.
Never mind.
I said this in the text earlier that I was giving you the show. You can have it.
It's yours. Yeah.
Never mind. I thought Tony was cool, but Tony is no more. Tony is no more. Brett just took the title.
Jeez, man, you're so impressive.
Yeah. So messing with some stuff over here on the stream, but
love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do love it. Less physical stuff of nerddom, but yeah, more on the setup.
Yeah, we need to start being like hearing like remixed Brit when you're on the show.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like that whole board, I mean, I can start the looping process and stuff. I just gotta figure it out and get better at it. So
yeah. Nice. That's cool. The only thing that I got, which I sent you guys last week, I meant to drop it.
Seriously, jeez.
Last week, but I forgot. Was speaking of Grogu, I got a new rug, which is from Ruggable. And
sorry for ruining your your text question.
Yeah, Ryan was like, I know, game's over.
Baby Yoda
I was-
Ruggable, like right when he sends it.
I was gonna guess Kirby. I was
too
gonna
have
guess
looked
Kirby.
Looked at this Ruggable.
Yep. You got
Not
it.
surprising.
Good job, Brian.
Game's over.
It's like that episode of The Office, Daryl, and they're trying to do the Christmas game with his daughter, and he's like, "Oh, just like that, the game's already over because they guess it too quick." All right, well, that's all I got. You guys got anything else?
Don't think so.
No, Ryan,
No.
you want to tell everybody where they can find us?
Yeah. Hit the subscribe button here on YouTube, notification bell, so you can stay up to date on all of the videos we're putting out. We're on Twitter at CAPECAST Show. We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/CiNEMACHiNE. Appreciate all the support that we get there. Britt,
Yeah,
plug yourself.
yeah. Plug your show, Britt.
Yeah. So I stream Mondays and Wednesdays. It's twitch.tv/defaultdan. And we've been kind of playing a bunch of different stuff now. So we still play the Disney game, mobile game, but we've been just kind of getting in there. Kelly comes down and we do all kind of stuff.
Nice.
Just fun stuff, hanging out. We're gonna be doing some Girl Scout cookie testing later this month. So
Nice. You
Excited.
got to get us a graphic that we can put up when you plug yourself, so people can.
all right. I'll
Send it
put
over.
one together. It won't be as good as y'all's graphics, but I'll put some together.
Don't
Make a
you
video.
say that.
Your video
Yeah.
stuff's great.
Yeah.
Spidey sense.
No. All right, well, let's get out of here. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Hope Thursday on CiNEMAChiNE, and next week, hopefully, we continue to be able to do this regularly without any interruption with schedules and whatnot. But for myself, for Ryan, for Alan, and Britt,
It's Brit, bitch.
appreciate y'all watching CAPECAST with us, and we'll see you next time. Y'all take care.
See you guys.
Later.